What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Talking Pigskin Divisional Round Playoff Edition. As always, I'm your host, Kishwar, and let's quickly jump into the wild card round from last week. Yeah, I went 3-1 with the Pigs. Not sure what happened in Kansas City. Thought Chiefs had it in the bag, but after Kelsey injury, it looked like they were out of sync for the rest of the game. Good on Marcus Mariota and the Titans to fight back. Oh, shout out to Derrick Henry as well for that monster running game he had going. The Titans pulled, came back sensationally. It was great for them to see that, but they're also the worst team in these playoffs. Let's not forget that, especially with Buffalo Bills being out. But good on them. Moving on to Foxborough won't be easy for them. We all know that. We'll get into that in a few minutes. Saturday night, I predicted Falcons will go into LA and beat them. Sure enough, they were in complete control of the entire game. The Falcon defense is actually pretty scary. They have Desmond Trufant and Adrian Claiborne this year, so they should be able to make more noise this year in the playoffs, and I'm hoping that. I think they are in dire need to avenge what happened in last year's Super Bowl, so we'll see what happens. And then Sunday, we had probably the most boring playoff game I've seen in a while with the Buffalo Bills and Jacksonville Jaguars. Boring in terms of offense, but very exciting in terms of Jaguars defense. Sure, Buffalo defense played fairly well, but I think Jaguars defense was just sensational that day. Jalen Ramsey, first team All-Pro, is turning out to be the next best cornerback in the league, and he's going to be very hard to deal with moving forward. As far as Jaguars offense, Blake Bortles was god-awful. He had more rushing yards than passing yards, which is kind of something you don't want to see from your quarterback, especially in the playoffs. But hey, he did it. I'm just glad they got the win. And they'll be moving on to play the Pittsburgh Steelers on Sunday. And the last wildcard game was probably the most entertaining one out of all four, which was the Saints and the Panthers. It was a very close game throughout. Cam Newton had a chance to finally win the game at the end, but just couldn't pull it off. Took an unnecessary hit that he didn't have to take. But again, that's just Cam being Cam. As for Drew Brees, he's playoff savvy. He knows what to do at these big stage games. He will never shy away from it. 379 passing yards on another great game. Even though his running game was not working, Drew Brees kept it cool and just kept marching down the field. So it was a pretty good week for the wildcard round. It could have been better, but we are moving into the best weekend of football in the entire season, which is the divisional round. And the very first game we will have is on Saturday, where the Falcons will travel to Philadelphia to take on a Nick Foles-led Eagles. Now, this on paper looks like a wash because I don't think Nick Foles will be able to do anything. But I do think Eagles' defense will be able to attach to try to somewhat stop the Falcon offense. But it's going to be too much to overcome Julio Jones, Devonta Freeman, Mohamed Sanu, Austin Hooper, Matt Ryan. Matty Ice needs to know that he needs to have a good game against his Eagle defense, or else I'm not sure if Falcon defense will be able to win them the game, even though they're considerably better than last year. Nick Foles, if he can keep it simple and just rely on Jay and LeGarrette Blount and let the defense do their thing, maybe they might have a shot, but I just don't see it happening. I believe the Falcons are favored by a field goal, and I think they're going to pull it off. So Falcons on the road. Next game we'll have on Saturday night is the Tennessee Titans taking on the New England Patriots. And sure enough, the Patriots are two touchdowns favorite over Marcus Mariota and the Titans. I don't expect this to be any interesting game. I know I'm discounting the Titans because, like I said, they're the worst team in these playoffs, and it's gonna be evident on Saturday night because we have another Patriot playoff team who is pissed off with all those reporting that's been coming out of Foxborough about Brady, Belichick, and crap not getting along, not being on the same page. That's only going to fuel them. So I don't know why everyone gets so happy when we talk about the Patriot problems and all that nonsense. That only fuels them to do better. Just like Deflategate, they ended up winning the Super Bowl. They might just be in the page, just do the same thing again this year. I think they will maul the Titans. I don't think Titans have any shot in winning this game. So not even worth discussing. Moving on to Sunday, we have a rematch where the Jacksonville Jaguars will travel to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. Now, Antonio Brown should be good to go, but I don't know how effective he will be. He's coming off an injury that might limit him, especially with Jalen Ramsey on him. It's going to be very difficult for him to break through anyway. Now, last time the Jaguars went up to Pittsburgh, they intercepted Big Ben 5 times. Can they do it again? I don't think so. Even though I think Calais Campbell, Telvin Smith, and Miles Jack will have that defense ready to go that day on Sunday. But I think Big Ben is made for these moments, and he always comes through in the playoffs. So with Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown, Martavis Bryant, Jesse James at tight end, they should be able to just do enough against the Jaguar defense, because I don't think Blake Bortles will be able to keep up with scoring whatsoever. They need to get Leonard Fournette going somehow, some way. But with Bortles being mediocre as he is, I just don't see it happening. The Pittsburgh defense, without Ryan Shazier, has been not so great, but they gotta shore up the defensive line with Cam Hayward, and hopefully Joe Hayden will be back on the secondary to keep the Jaguars receivers in check, although they don't have much of a threat anyway. In a very close game, I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers to win this game. And the very last game we will have on Sunday is the New Orleans Saints traveling to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. Now, Case Keenum and Drew Brees, it's pretty easy choice for me. I'm going to go with Drew Brees on the road to take down the Vikings. Yes, Vikings have probably the second best defense after Jacksonville, but they don't have the playoff experience. I believe only one player remained from the 2009 NFC Championship game they had against the Saints, the Bounty Gate game. I believe that's Brian Robinson on the linebacking position. But everyone else is fairly new. I don't think this defense will be able to keep Drew Brees in check all 4 quarters. Yes, they'll have their moments, but the running game has to flourish this week, and Drew Brees will keep doing what he does best. As for Case Keenum and that Viking offense with Latavius Murray and Jerick McKinnon running, they should be able to do a little bit in the first couple of quarters, but I just don't think scoring will be able to keep up with them. And the New Orleans defense isn't a pushover anymore, so they will actually try to tame them, especially in fourth quarter. If Dalvin Cook was still playing, maybe I give the Vikings a shot to win this, but I just don't see it happening. Even if the Vikings are favored, I'm going to pick Drew Brees on the road to win this. So there you have it. We will have the Falcons and Patriots win on Saturday, and then on Sunday we'll have the Steelers and Saints on Sunday, which will set up 2 epic AFC and NFC championship games with 4 great quarterbacks of the modern-day NFL history. So let's look forward to that, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Comment, like, subscribe, and as always, pass down this video. Let me know what your picks are, and I'll see you guys next week with the AFC and NFC title game picks. Good night.